Y'all see the topic. Y'all see the thumbnail. Y'all see the topic. The 6-point star and how to navigate from Saturn to Earth through the black hole. Now, I know this sound crazy. I know this sound far-fetched. Like, what do you mean navigate from Saturn to Earth? I now understand that what you looking at in that thumbnail is the 6-point star. That's the starship. See, they always talk about what the points mean on the star, but they'll never show you where the symbol of the star come from. It's a position that you hold, right? It's a prayer position, right? You get in that position to pray. You get in that position to meditate. And most importantly, when you go to the triple darkness known as, I call it out of space, not outer space, because when you run out of space, that means you don't have no body. You don't have a body anymore. And once you don't have a body anymore, you are not able to be on Earth anymore, right? So you're gonna be in triple darkness, pitch black. And if you take a certain position, which is the starship position, you're gonna be able to move about through that darkness. And if you don't, if you able to withstand the pressure, you'll be able to make it through that black hole and get to Earth. Hold on, what you mean get to Earth? Yeah, 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 yeah. Y'all, y'all ain't know. Y'all ain't know, huh? Y'all didn't know that we are not on planet Earth. Yes, we are not on planet Earth. This is not Earth. This is Saturn. And the only way to get to Earth is you have to be able to fit through the eye of a needle to get to Earth, right? So you got to understand this right here. Wow. See, our bodies are the giants. We came here as cells, as sperm, very tiny, right? So when you die, when you leave this physical body, right, you're going to go back to the size of a seed. You're going to go back to being like this small seed. You're going to fall into the darkness. You're not going to go outside of your body. You're going to fall back into the darkness in which you came, which is what's called out of space. Not outer space, out of space. Now, when you get to that darkness, all the light that you've collected in your life, everything you done watched, everything that you just seen up under this sun, is gonna try to get you to go back to the light, which is gonna kick you back to Saturn, right? But if you don't fold to that pressure and you're able to create your starship, and now how do you create your starship? You create your starship through meditation. You see in the thumbnail right there. That's the position. That's the starship position. When they be looking at them UFOs up there in the sky, if you take a picture of one of them UFOs, so-called UFOs, because they starships, and you zoom in on that starship, you will see that that is a 6-point star flying around in the sky. And a lot of time that be the children. It'd be a lot of children, a lot of elderly people who get sick. They be in hospice. It'd be a lot of children, babies, moving around in the sky, in the starship, moving around. You can create these starships too. Actually, you need these starships. You need these starships in order to go to Earth. Now, look. Now let's go. Let's talk about how we not on Earth, right? Now let's go back to Genesis. Look at the Genesis story, right? In the Genesis story, God created the heavens and the earth, right? He was here on the earth, right? Then he created, fast forward, he created the Adam and Eve that was here on the earth. And then what happened? They did what they did, and he kicked them out of the earth, right? And he sent them to the place where Satan is the ruler. It's that simple. You're on a place where Satan is the ruler. So see, when people say that this is a simulation, they're not telling you a simulation of what? It's a simulation of the real earth. And the only way to get there is you off at any given second and moment. Look, you can't leave this earth with baggage. You can't leave this earth worried about, oh, I gotta go to work tomorrow. What about my kids? What about my dog? What about my cat? Oh, who's going my girlfriend? No, she's gonna miss me. Man, you set yourself up to be back on Saturn, man. You set yourself up to be back on Saturn where Satan is the ruler. And guess what? See, we got warned that this is not gonna last forever. This place is not gonna last forever. This place will eventually burn forever, and everybody that's attached to this place is gonna burn with it. But there is hope. There is salvation. See, I get it. That's why God came to show us a way to get the hell up out of here. You got to understand this about this existence that we in, right? This life that we live in is only one day long. This is one long, never-ending day. That's what this life is. This is a one long, never-ending day. This day never ends, right? Everybody who ever existed lives under the same sun that we're looking at right now, or the same moon that we're looking at right now, based on where you at on Earth, right? Or on Saturn, my bad, on this planet, my bad. See, they got me brainwashed because look, and let me explain to y'all what the rapture is. A lot of people don't know what the rapture is, right? This about to mess y'all head up. Now I need y'all to jump on Google, jump on your phone, ask your chat GPT the etymology of the word rapture. Rapture means to have a spell casted over you. That's what the movie Weapons was about. Weapons should have been called the rapture, but they called it weapons, right? Because you had look, when you learned this was Earth, how old were you? You was a goddamn kid. So take that back. My bad, you two. I mean to curse. But check this out. Everything that you learned as a child is a childhood story. Everything, everything you learned as a kid is a childhood story. And it kept you a slave. Look, see, people think that 1865 was the end of slavery. You got our people, black people, the Mississippi River people celebrating Juneteenth. Oh, this is the day we were set free. No, Juneteenth is the day that white people were set free, right? See, this is the thing. Let me jump into this Abraham Lincoln story and the slavery story. Well, let me tell you what really happened during 1865 and the Civil War and everything, right? You got to understand this. You had a people that came and invaded America. Now, what these people will call, some people will call them Jews today. Some people will call them Germans. Because Jewman and German is the same word. It's the same people, right? It's the same people. It's just the Germans changed their names to Jewmans, right? Now, they came and invaded. They started on the East Coast. And about time they got to see, this is the thing right here. This is what's about to mess y'all head up right here. The Christopher Columbus story And the Civil War story is the same story. It's the same God story. The Christopher, listen, let me say it again. The Christopher Columbus story and the Civil War story, or Abraham Lincoln story, is the same story. It's the same exact story. Only thing is, they tell it now. Let me tell you how it's the same story. On one end, they telling you that about who got attacked, right? Abraham Lincoln's position of when, and the Christopher Columbus story is really the see. Hold on, let me scratch that because we let me scratch that because that's too advanced, right? Let me keep it short and simple. Abraham Lincoln was kidnapped. Abraham Lincoln was kidnapped by slaves. Now, a lot of you may think that, oh, when I say slaves, oh, he got kidnapped by black people. Man, it was all races of them that came from across the water here as slaves, right? Right? And yeah, we dogged them out. We dogged them out, but they wasn't going for it no more. They used their women. That's how come you notice when you look at the women didn't even get the vote till what, 1920, didn't get to work until what, 1965, right? But they kidnapped Abraham Lincoln. Boom. Jefferson Davis had to come in as the president. Boom. They came with so many high-powered weapons and so many men. They had over 500,000 soldiers. You got to think. Just imagine if 500,000 soldiers came down on us right now, and we not even ready. We sitting here smoking and drinking and eating and out on dates and trying to fornicate and do all these other little things. If a military came down on us right now, we would not be prepared. Facts. And it was the same thing that took place during the 1860s. We wasn't prepared. And when they came, they invaded, they kidnapped Abraham Lincoln. Jefferson Davis stepped in. He ended up negotiating his own surrender, right? Then they end up ending the war. 7 days later, Abraham Lincoln was dead. Right? He was dead. They killed him. And then after that, you had all the lynchings, and you had all the rapes, and you had all the segregation and experiments, and the burning up the cities, and yada 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 yada. Right. So let's get back to this starship, though. Let's get back to this starship because see, you see this, you see how I know these things. You see why I know these things because I'm on the starship. I have my own starship. And you need to start focusing on making your starship through meditation. And when I say let go, right, I don't mean let go as far as like just be careless and not care about anything. See, this right here, what I'm saying, it really should excite you. It really should excite you. It really should spark you up because now you know there's more to this life. There's more to yourself. There's more power to you than you realize. There's more power to you than you realize. And if you look at that thumbnail, you see the position that you hold, and you see you will be able to create this starship, and you will be able to not only astral project, but you'll be able to be a superhero in your dreams. And when it's time for you to go to that triple darkness, you will be able to move. You will be able to navigate. If something does so happen to scare you, you'll be able to move around, and you don't have to come back to this planet Saturn, where Satan is the ruler, and you can actually go to the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is legit. It's where earth is. The kingdom of heaven is where God is. That's where we trying to go. Look, go back and look at the pictures that they show of Earth when they show it from the other side of the moon. If you understand that that's us flying up to the moon that you see in the sky, and when we get close enough, we take the picture of Earth. And that's where they try to get to when they go to outer space. They try to make a ship to go to Earth, but this is the thing right here. The pressure won't allow you to go to Earth, right? The pressure won't allow you to go too far out of space, right? Why? Because pressure equals depth. That's why you can't take too much pressure. The further, look, physically, the human body would not be allowed to travel too far out of space. The heart would explode. The body would implode. It would implode. So meaning this right here, your body is gonna crush before the ship crush. Look, when them guys went down there trying to get down there to the Titanic, you gotta understand this how they died. They try to make it seem like the ship malfunctioned and then they got crushed by the ship. No, their bodies imploded first. Their hearts imploded, lungs, liver, kidneys, all their organs imploded, brain, eyeballs, all that imploded. Then the ship imploded. They was dead before the ship even imploded. They was already dead. See, this is the thing about it right here, man. If they wanted to go further out of space, you want to tell you what they had to do? And I know this is a very valuable information. They should at least let me win a DraftKings ticket or something for this. You know what I'm saying? If they wanted to go further out of space, guess what they would have to do? They would have to build a smaller ship because the ships that they build are too big to go far and out of space. That's how come the satellites that they create can go further out, but the ships they make can't go that far, right? And they would have to put children on the ships. They would have to put children on the ships. That would be the only way to go further in outer space. They would have to take like a bunch of 11-year-olds and put them on the spaceship and let them go out of space. Or if they want to go down to see the Titanic, right? They would have to take or go deeper into the Mariana Trenches, right? They would have to take a bunch of children and put the children on the ship and then send the ship down because the children not going to implode. And if the children don't implode, then the ship won't implode. The ship can maintain itself. But if you're trying to put older people on the ship to go up to outer space, it's not physically possible because their bodies are not designed to go that far without imploding or collapsing from pressure. Make it make sense. Let's make it make sense. Let's talk about it, man. So getting back to it, man, the starship. This is what it's all about. All this stuff is connected. It's all connected. You just got to connect the dots. See, a lot of this stuff I'm talking about, man, look, this is not for the average man, man. This stuff is going to turn your brain into water. You be like, what the hell is this guy talking about? I'm talking about the starship. You are the starship. Your body is the starship. And you have to be able to travel through this galaxy. Now let me go ahead and talk about astral projection. How to astral project, right? When you astral project, you need an object in front of you when you laying down on your back. You need some type of object, a poster, some type of hanging item in front of you to where it's going to get you to open up your eyes. And when you open up your eyes, because you going into this new world, when you go into the astral world, when you open up your eyes, it's just like you've been asleep for years and years and years. So when you open up your eyes into the astral world, you're gonna have to learn how to move again. You gotta let go of the fear, take it easy, calm down, and then start practicing. Practice moving your fingers, practice moving your legs, practice moving your arms, practice wiggling your nose, practice wiggling your toes. And then eventually you're gonna get up and be able to move around in the astral world. Now, when you're able to move around in the astral world, see this what a lot of people mess up at when they go into the astral world. What they do is they always leave out their room through the door. Never go through any doors when you go into the astral world. Never leave out the window or walk through the wall outside. Always go outside. Never stay in the house. Don't go in nobody's room. Don't go because look, it's shadow beings. It's dark figures right there that's waiting for you. That's trying to stop you and scare you back into your body so you won't astral project. Yo, what's good, y'all? What's good? What's good? But yeah, it's shadow. It's gas figure. It's gas beings that's gonna try to stop you from astral projecting. It's like I don't know if it's like the ego or what, but I know for a fact that like even right now, one of them gas figures right now it's around. Everybody got one with them, kind of trailing them. And when you go into the astral world, that thing gonna be right there, trying to like waiting for you, trying to get you to not move around on the real. So don't go out no doors. Don't walk in no closets. Don't do none of that. Go through the wall or go out the window. If you still feeling human, if you still feel like you're a human body, go out your window and fly. And look, you look at the thumbnail. The thumbnail is the position. That's how you fly your ship around. Now, this is the thing right here. Understand this. They fly helicopters around with heat signature cameras that they can see who is astro projecting, right? They can see. If you ever seen Star Trek, where they show the little light beam up when they press the buttons and they beam up on the ship, that little light, it's the same thing. They'll see the heat signature coming up through the house. It's like a beam of light that'll be coming up through the house. And that's how they know you astro projecting. That's how they know you astro projecting. And then you'll have they'll start flying the military ships around, uh, trying to catch up to the ships, but they'll never, even if they caught up to the ship, they wouldn't be able to touch it. They'll fly right through it because it's astro. Once you get up to a certain height, it's the air is thin enough for to be seen through the light. So it's just practice. It's just gonna take practice, man. A lot of practice. Stop masturbating. Stop watching porn. Uh, I would say do a parasite detox. That'll help out. Um, yeah, just take it one day at a time. Just take this one day at a time, man, and start thinking about your starship. Start working on your starship, and don't stop your daily life. See, the problem gonna be this right here. This is the problem a lot of y'all gonna have once you start working on your starship. I'm gonna tell you right now, you gonna have a problem with the Agent Smiths out here. Yeah, you gonna have a problem with a lot of agents. Let me get some of this water real quick. Yeah, yeah, you're gonna have a problem with the Agent Smiths out here. The Agent Smiths, see, people gonna start turning on you. People gonna start because they gonna know. See, you got a lot of Saturnians people here. People that originally come from this place. So this message that I'm giving is not for the people of Saturn, even though they can benefit from it. But this message is for the people of Earth, believe it or not. I know that sounds funny. This message is for the people of Earth and how we gonna return to Earth, which is the real kingdom of heaven. Take the childhood idea. Take the childhood thoughts of what the kingdom of heaven is. Take the childhood thoughts of what God is. Take everything that you learned as a child and get rid of it. And it's time to mature these understandings of what's really going on in your life and who you are and where you from. Y'all feeling it. Y'all feeling it. Y'all seeing it. And you got to be prepared to go back. This is all one day. See, look, let me prove that this is one day, right? And really, you can say 7 days, right? This life is only 7 days, right? God created what He created, and then on the seventh day, He rested. right? And that them days repeat. That's how come everything is in. When okay, let's just say people would be like, how does somebody live to be 700 years old back then? Do the math. Everything was calculated in 7 days. So once you lived a full year, you were 7 years old back then. You wasn't seven. Yeah, you wasn't 1 years old. You were 7 years old once you completed a full uh 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 winter, spring, summer, fall. You were 7 years old, right? So if you live to be 100, you were 700 years old. That's how come Adam. I think Adam lived to be like 932 years old. Do the math. Divided by 7. I think that comes out to about like 132 years old. It comes out. Yeah, it comes out to about 132 years old. So right now, I'm 38 years old. I'm about to be 39 years old. So do the math on that, right? I'm about what? That'll be like 210 years old. 200, what? 39, that's six. Put the 3, 21. What, 246? Well, whatever. I ain't no goddamn on mathematician, whatever. But it's over 200 years old in dog years. Dog years, you flip it around, it's God years. It's that simple, man. Being tricked out your spot. You being tricked out your position, man. Straight like that. Straight like that. And all you doing is wasting time and you're not learning nothing about yourself. And then when you get this so-called unexpected death and you go into this realm of triple darkness, you don't know what the hell to do. And then out of fear, you're going to turn around and you're going to run back to Saturn because that's all you know. And look, it's another light right there, but you scared to go to that light. You scared to go to that light. Now, this is the thing right here. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be fair, right? I'm gonna be fair. It do be beasts and all these other different creatures and things that can scare you to make you turn away from the light. But all them things is not easier said than done. But all that stuff is just baggage. All that stuff is just a bunch of baggage that you carrying with you to the next realm. All the monsters that you seeing when you go into that triple darkness ain't gonna be nothing but the people that you were seeing down here on earth, but now you're seeing their real form. Now you seeing how they really look. Now you seeing the creatures that they really are. And if you don't understand that you have the power, if you don't understand that you have the authority, if you don't understand that Christ, Jesus, could come save you, because he came here. Understand, where did he come down here from? He came down here from the kingdom of heaven. He came down here from earth. He crossed over from the other side of the moon. And look, this is the thing right here. Experiment. Go outside tonight, right? Find the moon, and then look at the brightest star out there. That star is Earth. That's the planet Earth. Facts. This is just a simulation of Earth. Facts. I get it. I understand why it at this point it's dangerous to teach all these people. Well, this is the thing about it, man. To teach people something that they already know is crazy. They already know that this is what it is. They know what the hell is going on. There's people that know that you not from here. They know that you from Earth. That's why they jealous. That's why they get upset. That's why they act a certain way. See who the hell is this? See, then you get the dropping these gems, and all of a sudden it's some weird activity going on. Damn. Okay. Okay. I guess gang checking the tide. But yeah, man, it's going on out here, man. It's really going on out here, man. You gotta study yourself. See, I got taught under the more science. More science is nothing but knowledge. And let me talk about more science real quick, man, because there's a lot of confusion about the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who is buried out here. I'm right down the street from where Prophet Noble Drew Ali is buried. He buried over here in Bar Oak Cemetery in Alsip, Illinois, right? He got a real grave. This is a real man who existed, right? Know thyself. Know yourself. Study yourself. Practice yourself. And I'm gonna go ahead and end this message, man. But you see the starship. You see the starship. It's the prayer position. That's the position you get in. That's the position that you hold when you want to manifest, when you want to meditate and practice on creating your starship. Because you could create your starship to be something nice. You know what I'm saying? You meditate. See, this is the thing. Let me get into it real quick, man. First you got to clear your mind, right? You got to clear your mind of the dark. You got to get rid of everything. The thing about meditating is to clear your mind, not to be sitting there thinking about something. It's to get your mind and make your mind into a pitch black canvas. You know what I'm saying? Make your mind pitch black to where it ain't making no noise. You're not seeing nothing. Just peace, where you could just rest. We see the problem is the problem already that we got already is that we see too much, that we hear too much, that we know too much, that we feel too much. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. That's the problem. And you don't want to take those problems with you. You don't want to take those problems with you. You don't want to have these problems on your mind. You don't need look. You don't. Not only do you not want to have these problems on you when you pass on, but you don't even want to have these problems when you go to sleep at night, man. You don't want to go to sleep with these problems, with a bunch of problems on your mind. Learn how to rest. Hey, look, you ain't even necessarily got to get in that prayer position, in the starship position, to meditate. You can lay on your back. You can lay on your back and in your mind get in that position. In your mind, see yourself. See, that's what stopped me from watching porn and all the masturbating and all this little crazy stuff, man. Because when I started meditating, I started to be able to see myself do the things that I do. I started to be able to go outside of myself and see what I was doing. And it made me uncomfortable. Like, man, imagine how you would look doing some of the things you do in privacy to an alien, quote unquote, looking through your house. Or imagine how you would look to yourself doing the things you do in privacy if a recording of your mind was played back to you. You look crazy, man. Picking up this black glass device, and you just looking at it, just going crazy on yourself. But yeah, that Starship, what's that song? Go back and listen to that song, Starship. You are my starship, come take me up tonight. But don't be late and don't you come too soon. See, they was leaving a message. They look, when you really think about the music that they was making back in the day, They was leaving messages in the past for us in the future, for us right now, because the music that they make back then, you not people are not even allowed to make this type of music no more. You're not even allowed to make this type of music no more. Everybody plays the fool sometimes. No exception to the rule. Listen, baby. Look, ain't that going on right now? Everybody plays the fool. Man, so many songs. I'll be sitting there singing all day. But yeah, man, that starship, man. Meditate, meditate, meditate. Pray, pray, pray. Uh, shit, even start to fast. Hell, it's time, man. This time is up, man. I'm gonna start getting back on the live more often, man, and start sharing a little more. Uh, I feel way more comfortable doing the lives like this without the camera. You know what I'm saying? Because like with the camera, it it never it was never comfortable to me looking at myself on camera. Like it just felt so weird. You know what I'm saying? It just felt so weird. But anyway, yeah, tap in, man. Yeah, I'm out, man.